The end of West computing. As the National Aeronautics and Space Act of 1958, which called for the creation of NASA, made its way through Congress, another memo quietly circulated through the Langley Research Center and the former Langley Memorial Aeronautical Laboratory. The West Area Computing Unit is dissolved. Slowly but surely, women from West Computing, like their white counterparts, had begun to receive permanent assignments in different engineering groups. Now, only 9 women remained in Dorothy's pool. Dorothy Vaughan had seen this day coming since the East Computing Pool was disbanded in 1947. Each new facility in the laboratory fueled the demand for specialization among its professionals, including the mathematicians. The idea of operating a central computing pool had become obsolete. The computing pool had created rare opportunities for women at the NACA. Getting hired by the laboratory as a professional mathematician had been an important and groundbreaking step for women, especially the African American women. But now the times were changing. Aeronautical research had become more complex, and the laboratory needed mathematicians with specialized knowledge. Women like Dorothy Hoover, Catherine Goebel, and Mary Jackson had gotten their start in West Computing and moved on. Now it was time for the pool itself and its leader to move on too. The days of the West Computing office had come to an end. The end of West Area Computing was bittersweet to Dorothy Vaughan. On the one hand, it meant the end of segregation at Langley. Now, the black women would work with white engineers and white computers instead of having to stay in their own office. Dorothy had worked hard to support the careers of women like Catherine Goebel and Mary Jackson and give West Computing a reputation of doing work that was as good as that of their white colleagues. The end of West Computing was, in many ways, a long fought-for victory. The standards upheld by the women of West Computing created opportunities for a new generation of women with passion for math and hopes for a career beyond teaching. On the other hand, it meant the end of Dorothy's career as a manager. It had taken her 8 years to reach her seat at the front of the West Computing office. For 7 years after that, she ruled a room full of black female mathematicians doing research at the world's most prestigious aeronautical laboratory. But now, she too was being moved to another group with a new boss. Dorothy was 48 years old in October 1958. Her older children were now entering college. She was proud of the way she had navigated through the days of racial segregation, proud of whatever small share she might claim in fighting prejudice with intellectual merit. During her years at West Computing, Dorothy had watched scores of women move from the computing pool to other positions within the laboratory. She and the other female computers had proven that given the opportunity and support, women were just as smart as men. Dorothy had never been one to linger over the past. For better or worse, Langley's fresh start was giving Dorothy Vaughan a fresh start as well.